Okay, guys, we're going to go through page 311, and I want to go through page 312 on rates and talk a little bit about rates that we talked about yesterday. So first of all, 311, if we look at these, um, pick a face of the cube. So if you picked this front face, that's a face, okay, a side of it. How many other faces are parallel to it? Well, remember that parallel lines, are lines that run on and on forever and ever without getting any closer or farther apart. Those aren't great, but those are parallel. So if we pick this front face, there would only be one side. This back side back here would be the only side that would be parallel with the front. If you took that face and you just let them, expand and go on and on forever and ever, they would be the ones that are parallel with each other. Okay, so there is one face that is parallel to it. It says pick the edge of a cube. So if we pick the edge, doesn't matter. Let's pick this edge right here. Okay. How many sides, how many other edges would be parallel to that, would run on and on? If we continued that forever and ever, we would have, this would be perpendicular, right? So with that, so we'd have 1, 2, 3 other edges that would be parallel with this. So 3 edges are parallel with this first one. Volume, okay? Volume equals our base times height, okay? So volume, and remember the capital B is figuring out already the area of this. So we would have, let's see if I can draw this quick, 5 times 8 would give you the area of the base, okay? 5 times 8 is 40, and we would multiply that times our height, which is 6, okay? 6 times 4 is 24 plus a 0. We have 240 inches, and 3 is cubed, okay? So we're talking volume. How much water, what could you put on the inside? If we had blocks before that we were working with, how many would fit on the inside? Okay, it says write A, P, or V to tell whether you need to find the area, perimeter, or volume. If you're going to find the distance around something, there's the key word right there. You're going to find the distance around it. You're looking for the perimeter. If you're going to put a fence around your yard, anytime you're going around the outside of something, if I was to the perimeter of this box, buying tile for the bathroom floor, we would have to cover this whole area. Okay. And then filling up a pool, we just talked about that. That would be volume, how much fits on the inside of something. Inserting less than, greater than, or equal to. Okay. Negative 15, okay, is less than 3. Negative 43 is less than negative 21. 68 is greater than negative 100. 3/4. Okay, negative 3/4 is greater, because remember 3/4 would be same as 75, or negative 75 hundredths is greater than negative 78 hundredths. 13 and a half. 13 and a half is less than, and be farther away from 0 than negative 13 would be, going in our negative direction. Okay, so that is less than. Down here, finding a factor of something. There's different divisibility rules, and there's things that you'll learn that we haven't had a chance to touch on. The best way to see if 8 is a factor of all of these, it takes a little bit of work, and you guys can do this. We've done this on the board, and I know that you guys can do these problems in a matter of, a couple minutes. Most of you could do all 4 of them. The only way to figure out the factor for you guys right now is just to divide. Okay, so if we take and divide 253 divided by 8. How many times 8 go into 25? Okay, it'll go 3 times. 3 times 8 is 24. we subtract, we get our 1, bring down the 3, 8 goes into that one time. Okay, and we subtract, we get 5. Okay, so the question is, which number is a factor? This would not be a factor of 8 because it does not go in evenly. We would have a remainder of 5. Okay, so that is not a factor. The only other way is to do all of these. This one we kind of do in our head. If you were to divide this by 8, okay, 8 would go into 9 one time. We would have 8, and then we'd bring our, okay, so we'd subtract 1, we'd bring down a 4. It would not go into that. 8 does not go into 14. Okay, actually, 8 does go into 120. Okay, so that is our answer for that one. Round each number to the nearest hundredth. The 6 is in the hundredth spot. Okay, the 8 tells us whether we rounded up or if we stay the same. And I am going to actually go to text here. So this one would round, the 8 would round the 6 up. So we'd have 12 and 37 hundredths. The next one, okay, we would have 234 would not change, and 99. This 9 would round that 8 up to a 9. 234 and 99 hundredths. This would round to 1, and 2 wouldn't change. And now our hundredth spot, that 5. Remember, 5 or higher, we round up. So this 5 is telling that 2 to round it up to a 3. 1 and 23 hundredths. And this one would be 12 and 30. You can leave that 3 if you wanted. You can put the 0 in there, but that 4 would stay the same, or tell that 0 to stay the same. And our 55 hundredths would stay at 55 hundredths. It wouldn't change. Okay, so that is 311. Let's jump ahead and take a look at 312 here. We talked about rate, miles per hour, how much you pay per pound of something. Okay, so if we're taking this first one, Bill's new car can travel about 35 miles on 1 gallon of gas. So for every gallon of gas, he's going 35 miles. At this rate, how far can the car travel with 7 gallons of gas? Okay, so there's different ways to do this, but we need to fill out this chart for each one of these. Okay, so the first one, 1 is 35. 2, it would be 70. 3 would be 105. So we're just counting by ones on the bottom, which they've given you. And on top here, we're counting by 35, or going up by 35 each time. Okay, so this would be 140. And so 5 would be 175. 6 would be 210. 7 would be 240. 5, and 8 would be 280. That's a bad 8. Okay, 280. So at this rate, about how far can a car travel with 7 gallons of gas? Well, it could go 245 miles. That's the rate. Now, sometimes they'll give you, like this one, they'll give you, a number that we know that she earns $8 for every 4 hours that she helps out around the house. Okay, so at what rate, at what, what would that be per hour? Well, in 4 hours, she makes 8. Well, we would have to divide that, okay? 4 hours, $8, we divide, 8 divided by 4 is 2, okay? So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Okay, at this rate, how much money does she earn per hour? She earns $2 per hour. Okay, The rest is on your own. And we'll come back and check that later. Good luck, gang.